1973, my father died of a heart attack. I was 8 years old at the time, and very traumatic, and always was worried about having some heart issues because of him dying so young. And in 2005, I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. And there really was a debate at that point in time of whether it was genetic or not, tied to the heart condition that my father had. They didn't really have the technology, even in 2005, to determine that. And then I really improved greatly through the medicine that was available at that time. They were able to get my heart function back to almost normal, until one day I really felt ill.
I went to a friend's house and we were having a sleepover. We were doing the normal girl thing, just watching movies, hanging out. And then this feeling came over me that I had to come home. And I don't know why, but I just felt like I had to call my mom and go home. My mom was at school. My brother was a freshman in college. He was 8 hours away in Boston. We got up early and did our normal thing. He's still not feeling well. I later went upstairs. He said he was gonna go take a nap. And then I started hearing this wheezing sound, almost like a snoring sound, I thought. But then I realized that it wasn't snoring and it was something else. I just immediately grabbed the phone and I called 911. I mean, getting up at 9 a.m., I also kind of dressed ready to go. It was weird just having kind of everything almost ready. When we saw him again, we were in the emergency room. They realized that they had to rush him up to surgery right away. They were in the elevator, and I looked down and my dad, and I never saw that look on his face, that he was so scared. It's really hard to see your dad in that way, just realizing that this is really, really serious. But then they got him to the room to do surgery on him, and they basically said that I had to say goodbye to him because they didn't know how this was going to turn out. And so in that moment, I basically had to say goodbye for my whole family because I didn't know what was going to happen.
When they did the surgery, they opened up my chest. They found a 1 pound blood clot in my lungs that had also gone to my heart, that caused cardiac arrest, and I coded for 5 minutes on the operating table. They were able to resuscitate me, but my heart was really damaged. They found a hole in my heart as well that they were able to fix. That was something from birth. They hooked me up to a heart-lung machine, an ECMO, and airlifted me up to Hershey, where I spent 12 days in a coma. The first actual memories was something I'll never forget. It was my wife and daughter holding my hand when I woke up.
At that moment when he woke up, the first 3 things that he said to me was, "Thank you, I'm sorry, and I love you." When you said those things, that was the thing I'm going to remember for a while. I'm going to remember that forever.
I believe in, I had a choice, in essence, of whether I wanted to fight to live or not. I really decided I was going to fight, and when they first were telling me things like, hey, you're not going to be able to walk for 6 months to a year, that just made me more determined to do them faster than they told me I could. I'll never forget, after I recovered and I'm with my cardiologist, I have one question. It is, how much longer am I going to live, right? What's my life expectancy? He's like, listen, Mike, he goes, 15 years ago, just with the cardiomyopathy, with the heart failure, you might have only had 2 to 3 years to live, and now we can get your heart function back just with medicine. But I don't know what's going to be here 15 years from now to extend your life even more. It's funny, I used to worry, knowing my father died at 31, I used to spend probably an unhealthy amount of time wondering about how long I would live. And the assurances that the advancements we're making, a lot of them funded by the American Heart Association, I don't even think about that anymore. My father died in 1973. I had this happen to me 40 years later in 2013. They were not able to save him. They were able to save me. And they may be able to save, your loved one. What this is all about is extending lives and creating moments and memories that weren't going to be there, because of heart disease, but now we're finding ways to treat those diseases and create more memories.